Hi guys, welcome back to the session. Today we will learn about read form fields action from PDF utils package in Automation Anywhere A2019. So let's get started by understanding this action. So this action allows a bot to read Adobe Forms or XFA forms, which are nothing but the PDF files that can be edited and saved by the user. And this action supports to read the text values from text box, checkbox, radio button and the drop down. So let's quickly create a project in Automation Anywhere to know this action better. So I have this sample PDF form file with me with the form fields as username, address and so on. So we are going to create a project today in Automation Anywhere which is going to extract all these form fields from the PDF file and store them inside this Excel sheet. So let's quickly create a project in Automation Anywhere. So for that we will move to bots, my bots, and let's create new bot from here. So let's select create new bot. Let's keep the name of the bot as demo on read form fields and let's click on create and edit. And here we are in the edit taskbar page. Let's move to actions, and first of all I'm going to search for the PDF utils package. So under this package we have this read form fields action which is used to read form fields. So let's drag and drop this action over here, move to list view, and from here we'll have to provide the Adobe form file from where we wish to extract the form fields. So this is my Adobe form file, so I'm going to provide the path. So we'll move to desktop file since the file is present inside the desktop. Let's click on browse, and from this RPA folder I'm going to select this user form file from where we wish to extract the data, and let's click on open. Now we'll have to store the form fields inside a dictionary variable. So let's create a dictionary variable from here. So create a variable and let's give the name of the dictionary variable as user data, and this is a variable of type dictionary. So let's click on create and select. Now since this is a dictionary variable and we know that the dictionary variable stores the values as a key value pair, so this user data dictionary variable has stored all these form field names and their values as a key value pair. Now our next job is to extract the keys and the values from this user data variable and store them inside this Excel sheet. Now since we wish to work on the Excel, so I'm going to add the actions to open the Excel sheet. So I'm going to search for the open action from this Excel basic. Let's drag and drop it over here, and we will provide the path of this file. So from here I'm going to select this desktop file and click on browse, and from here I'm going to select this extracted data file which is an XLSX file. Let's click on open, and I have opened it in read and write mode, and my sheet contains headers. This sheet contains headers. I have provided the sheet header as key and value. So I have checked this box. Now since we have opened the Excel, at the end we need to close it as well. So let's search for the close action under the Excel basic. So let's add this action. Now we'll work to fetch the keys from this user data dictionary variable. So for that we are going to use the loop action. So let's search for the loop action from here. So this is the loop action. Let's drag and drop it over here. And from here, from this loop action, I'm going to select the iterator type as for each key in the dictionary. So let's select this one, and here we'll have to provide the dictionary variable. So from here let's select this user data dictionary which we have just created, and we will assign the key names inside a variable. So let's create a variable from here. Let's keep the name of the variable as dictionary key, and let's click on create and select. So this loop is going to iterate for each of the keys inside the dictionary variable user data, and store the result inside the D key variable. Now we want to write this D key variable for each iteration inside this Excel sheet. For example, for the first iteration, the value will be written inside the cell A2. Then for the next iteration, the value will be written in A3, then A4, and so on. Here you notice that the column name is constant, that is A, whereas the row numbers are getting changed. So we'll have to create a variable for the changing row numbers. So let me show you how we can work on that. So first of all, I'm going to add the set cell action from the Excel basic package. So we'll select this set cell action. Let's drag and drop it inside the loop, and here we will select the specific cell, and here will have to provide the cell value. Now the cell value will be changing as A2, A3, A4, and so on. So here what we can write, here we can write the column name as A, and for the row we'll have to create a variable since the row numbers are getting changed from starting from 2, 3, 4, and so on. So we'll create a variable for the row number. So from the variables, I'm going to create new variable. Let's give the name of the variable as counter. And this is a variable of type number. And let's click on create. Now since we will write into the Excel from the row number 2, so I'm going to assign the number 2 to the counter variable. So for that we'll move to actions again, and from here will move to the number package, and here inside the number package we have this assign action. So let's drag and drop it over here, and I'm going to assign the number 2 to this counter variable. Now since this set cell values takes only the string values, so it takes only the string variables. If you press F2 here, you see you do not get the counter variable which we just created. So what we'll have to do, we'll have to convert this counter variable, we'll have to convert the value present inside this counter variable into a string variable. So again from this number package we'll select this toString action. So let's drag and drop it over here, and here inside enter a number we'll press F2, and from here we'll select this counter variable which we just created. Let's click on yes, insert, and we will assign the output to a variable which will be a string variable. So create new variable from here. Let's give the name of the variable as row number, and this is a variable of type string. Let's click on create and select. So this toString action is going to convert the value present inside this number variable to this string variable. Now we can use this row number variable inside this set selection. So if you press F2 from here, and here you see this row number of type string is present. So let's select this one. Let's click on yes, insert. And what value we want to set? So we want to set the value as D key, which we will get from this loop action. So from this loop action we will get the key names which will be stored inside the D key variable, which we will set inside the specific cell. Now once we set this value to this specific cell, we'll have to increment the row number so that the next key is written to the next row. So how to do that? So for that we'll move to this number utils package, and from here we are going to select this calc action. Let's drag and drop it over here. And in the expression to be calculated, I'm going to use the variable counter. Let's click on yes, insert, and I'm going to increment it by 1, and the result I'm going to assign to the counter variable itself. Next we will convert this counter variable into string. Since this set cell specific cell value takes only the string value, so I'm going to use this toString action. Let's drag and drop it over here. And here under enter a number, I'm going to use this counter number, and here I'm going to assign it to the variable row number. So the logic which we have provided over here from line number 3 to line number 8 is going to fetch the key names from this user data variable and store them inside this column of this Excel sheet. In a similar way, we'll have to fetch the values as well from this user data variable. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy all these actions from line number 3 to line number 8. Let's copy them from here and let's paste it over here. And I'm going to drag and drop this Excel basic close action at the end. Now till line number 8 we have written the logic to write the key names inside this column A of the Excel sheet. Now we will focus to write the values from the dictionary variable inside the column B. So it will be written like first value will be written in B2, then in B3 and then in B4 and so on. So let's see how we can do that. So again we'll start from the row number 2. That's why we have assigned the value 2 to the counter variable. We are going to start writing from B2 cell. Then we converted this counter variable into this string variable which is row number. Next the loop will be started, and at this time we are going to choose the iterator type as for each value in the dictionary, because we want to fetch the values now. So we'll select the iterator for each value in dictionary, and again we'll select the dictionary variable, the same one, that is user data, and the current value we can assign it to a new variable. So let's create a new variable from here. Let's keep the name of the variable as d value and let's click on create and select. So this loop type is going to iterate for each value in the dictionary user data, and every time the current value will be stored inside this d value variable. Now we want to set this d value variable inside the Excel. So in the set cell, we are going to use the value to be set as, I'm going to remove this d key, press F2, and from here we'll select this d value variable. Let's click on yes, insert, and the specific cell I'm going to remove this A and I'm going to provide the column as B, because now we want to work on the B column as B2, B3, B4 and so on. So this rows will be changing, and for that we have used this row number variable. Now again we'll have to increment this row number, because this row number will be incremented by 1 every time. So we have used this calc action counter plus 1. We have provided the expression counter plus 1 so that this counter variable gets incremented by 1 every time, and then we have assigned this counter variable to the row number variable. So our bot is ready now. Let's save this one. It's going to fetch these form fields from this PDF file and store them inside this Excel. So let's see how it works. I'm going to close this Excel file, and I'm going to close this PDF file as well. And let's quickly run this project to see how it works. So let's click on run. And my bot is running now. It's going to provide the form fields inside the Excel file. And it is over. Let's close this one and let's quickly move to the file. So under this RPA folder, this is the extracted data file. Let's open this one. So here you see all the form fields has been written in the Excel file as a key value pair. I'm going to open the PDF file as well for the comparison. So this was my PDF file. Let's open this one as well. Now from this PDF file, all the form fields has been written inside this Excel sheet as a key value pair. Here you see all these are the key names, and corresponding all these are the values. So in this way you can work with the Adobe Forms to extract the form fields from the PDF file and store them inside the Excel sheet. In case you want to have this sample PDF file, you can send me an email and I will share this sample PDF file with you. And that's all for this session, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a like and share with your friends and hit the bell button to get the updates on the latest videos. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel as well. Thank you. Have a nice day.